You must try to record all the details in your mind. Those 30 seconds that picture is before you, you must observe it very, very closely, minutely. And I find that today the teaching is limited to a classroom lecture where teacher insists nobody should speak and some notes should be given about WAT. It is expected that a candidate must attempt all 60. To the candidate during conference, only one person speaks, and that person is the person who has interviewed him. No psychologist, no GT would ever speak to.
रुको बिफोर वी मूव फॉरवर्ड आई वांट टू जस्ट टेल यू गाइस कि आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं कर्नल मनोज बर्मन साहब. He is an ex-SSB psychologist. Currently, he is one of the faculty at Force Academy in Indore. They are starting a 6-day camp. Real-time simulation hoga along with feedback. It will be conducted by ex-SSB assessors. There are 3 assessors. Commander Vikas Gupta sir, who has been a GTO. Captain Satish Yadav sir, who has been an interviewing officer. And Colonel Manoj Barman sir, who has been a psychologist. The best part of the entire workshop is the price. Rupees 3000, matra 3000 rupees में hostel and food along with workshop and feedback. Pickup, drop up, सब कुछ involved, सब कुछ included है. ठीक है, तो बिल्कुल 2 बार मत सोचो. सीट्स बहुत लिमिटेड है. Google form is in description. तुरंत भर दो, तुरंत उनको पे कर दो so that you are enrolled. If you have any query, the number is in description. You can call them and solve your query. Also, वीडियो में काफी बार हमारी साइड से छोटा सा मिस्टेक हुआ है. The workshop is on 7th August. I repeat, workshop is on 7th August and the price is 3000. Do check it out. It's a great opportunity for you guys. All the best.
तू चलता जा, तू चलता जा, तू चलता जा, तू बढ़ता जा, तू बढ़ता जा, तू बढ़ता जा, तू लड़ता जा, तू लड़ता जा, तू लड़ता जा, तू बढ़ता जा, तू बढ़ता जा, तू बढ़ता जा.
जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय. स्वागत है आपको ऑन द फौजी शो. टुडे वी हैव विद अस वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट कर्नल मनोज बर्मन साहब. Sir was SSB psychologist in Allahabad and Bhopal board, and now he is associated with Force Defence Academy in Indore, and they are organizing a beautiful camp of 5-day real-time simulation of SSB, and it's very cost friendly. It's hardly 2000 rupees. The
Free.
Google form is in description along with the number, so do check it out. Last time का camp का बहुत अच्छा feedback आया था. We had made a video then also, so do check it out. So thank you so much for coming as a guest on our show. It's a privilege to have you. Sir, काफी कम psychologist के साथ interact करने का मौका मिलता है, and you know there are so many aspirants who want to get mentorship under people like you. So sir, going forward on the psych part, you have been a psychologist, such a experienced one that too. सर मैनी कैंडिडेट से कि इमेजिन नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, मैं मेरे को स्टोरी राइटिंग नहीं समझ आ रही है, इमेजिन नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. सो हाउ कैन दे इम्प्रूव देयर स्टोरी राइटिंग स्किल्स व्हेन दे कम टू टीएटी पार्ट और पीपीडीटी पार्ट?
Yes, I do come across not one, many students, many candidates who complain of this. And reason, possibly I try to learn myself. I am still a student, though I am very young, 80-year-old.
88 young, sir. 88 young.
18, I said. You
Yes,
have
sir.
made the 80.
18-year young, sir. Okay.
My 18 is 80. So
Yes.
the candidates are product of the modern education where they are discouraged to imagine. Free flow of thought is not encouraged in our system of education. I had been a principal of 2 Sainik schools, many schools post-retirement, about 5-6 big schools. And I find that today the teaching is limited to a classroom lecture where teacher insists nobody should speak and some notes should be given. Finally, important questions would be told and a person would appear in exam and score marks. So the whole thing is geared to get good marks. Individual enterprise, imagination has got no place in our education, unfortunately. That is precisely I have taken this one extra day for. I want to tell them, no, imagining, I cannot imagine for anybody, but imagining can come only when you start imagining.
बिल्कुल.
I run a course every 15 days and I tell them that once you are here, you have decided to go for your SSB, you must start imagining every moment, everything that you, when you are passing through a street, you see an accident. You must imagine how you are going to write a story on this. Everything that happens is small, big, because mind, like one goes to gym to train his body, mind also needs some kind of exercising. If you have never done any imagination, if you are only read books and answered questions, unlikely you will be able to imagine. So my advice to all those prospective students, whether they come to me or not, they must start doing this. Every time there is a photograph, no matter what is the photograph, they should see it and get into the habit of writing some 10-15 lines on that. And more they do, more fertile will their mind grow and they will be able to study. Because this is not only your observation. My candidates, often very good candidates who have scored 90% plus in their 12th exam, their complaint is because they have never done that. They have been only taught to learn lessons, cram them up and answer them. The answering the question pattern is also changed. There are 1 marks question, 5 marks question. Hardly there are questions which are 10 marks or more. So that your fertility of mind is almost dead. So you have to learn it, doing it, and for that, more you read, diverse things, more stories you write, no matter what you write, it should be done there. Because brain also needs some exercise.
Sir, coming to the WAT and SRT part, how many minimum WAT and SRT are required for the psychologist to assess how much is the number? Because some people, they are not able to attempt all of it naturally.
WAT and SRT, about WAT,
Sir.
it is expected that a candidate must attempt all 60.
Okay, sir.
It can happen that one to miss under the circumstances because there is only 15-second time.
Sir.
And while he is writing a sentence for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so on, a time comes when he might feel that if I write a full sentence for this, the next word will be missing, and you are advised under such circumstances to put a dash on that line and go on. But words are very simple. Any 10th class boy, I don't think that anybody would miss a word or not being able to attempt a word just because it is too hard or not understood. 10th class, 12th class boy who has passed the syllabi, I think the words are simple, and it can only happen that 1, 2 odd words where he wouldn't be able to give his reaction because of the time. But it is all the same important. It is not important how many he does, but I expect as an assessor that he should attempt all 60. If not, 1, 2 missing, it's okay, but not more than that. But what is important is that what does he write? In making of sentences, what is the form that he is adopting? Like, I'll just give you an example. Because the whole thing, I'm sure that all the candidates understand this is a personality test. All the 3 assessors are trying to assess the 15 personality qualities present, and are they present in enough degree, enough level to recommend him to find a place in armed forces as an officer. That's the aim. It's not your vocabulary or English or literature. They are not literary activity or literary content. So if you write, I'm giving an example, if the word is honest, and if you write honesty is the best policy. Now that is what is being taught in all schools and colleges world over. It is no guarantee the person who is giving this expression is honest. Because if honesty is the best policy, everybody who has read was honest, then from which school these dishonest people have passed out? So it is not indicator of your. So do not get into any use of idioms, use of quotations, use of universal truth. If the word is sun or rise, sun rises in the east, now that doesn't speak anything about you. Or statement of fact, I have got 4 brothers. It doesn't speak. So you must understand basically that this is a test to evaluate your personality. Therefore, your construction of the sentence, there may not be. When the instructions are given, it is being said. It is not a literary test. Your sentences may not be grammatically very correct. There might be spelling, but whatever is in your mind, when you write, that idea should be understood by the assessor. That is important. And you must write things that conveys some idea about your personality. And so don'ts are that do not use universal truths, quotations, the statement of facts. I'm a student, I go to school every day, etc. has got no meaning. Construct sentences which will give up some dimension of your personality. And I'm sure most of the students, they are going through the books where all those 15 qualities are already enumerated. Because psychologist, GTO, interviewing officer, their entire test is directed to measure only those 15 qualities, nothing else. Which school he has gone, whether it was public school or Sarkari school or nothing, it doesn't matter. What is the income of the parents, what the education of parents, how many brothers, sisters, they really don't matter in the selection of a candidate.
Thank you so much, sir.
And
Sir,
SRT, and
yes, sir.
other part of the SRT. SRT also 30 minutes, 60 situations. Situations are lifelike, which an 18, 20-year-old boy or a girl generally faces. He should be familiar with those. Those situations should be attempted where generally whatever he or she writes should convey under those circumstances what he or she is likely to. Again, need not be very, very complete sentence. In our time, there used to be telegraphic language. Telegraphs has since been closed, but now we are using WhatsApp. You write what is in your mind. There is a fire. You should shout fire, put few buckets of water, and ask somebody to inform the fire brigade. Enough. You cannot show minimum 45 to 50. If this much of richness is there, they are enough. Since you asked in the question the number, in WAT, I will again suggest the students should attempt to do all 60 if possible. 1, 2 missing for whatever reason, it's okay. But in SRT, attempt should be 45 plus. Better 50. But this should be rich. May not be complete sentences grammatically very correct, but whatever idea the candidate has in mind, that should come out clear when the reader is reading that. That is important.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. Sir, moving ahead, you have been a president of one of the SSB boards. So many candidates have this curiosity कि अंदर क्या होता है conference room में जब they are waiting outside. So what generally happens before a candidate is called inside the room? So what do they talk about and how do they go about it?
Okay. First thing, I was never a president of the board. President of the board is always an interviewer. Though in our time, since there was shortage of interviewer, so I am also trained in interview.
Sir.
But It is one of the interviewing officer in past. There used to be full colonel, brigadier, one major general in a board. Now there are lieutenant generals and etc. etc. So that doesn't matter. You are asking generally what is happening in a conference room.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. In conference room, it is in U shape. All the interviewing officer, there can be more than two. If the more interviewing officers have been involved in a particular batch, so they will also all sit in the base of the U. The right hand side, all the psychologists, there will be 4 psychologists of the board. If there had been more load and outside other board psychologists are involved, they will all sit on the right side. All the GTOs would sit on the left side. For your information, an assessor and a candidate is being assessed for, though we all think that they are being assessed for 900 marks, they are being assessed for only 675 marks. Because the SSB is for 900 marks, and where the 40%, that is 360, is the mark. If a candidate achieves, then in front of his name, R is written, that is recommended. Other candidates who have not reached that mark or above, NR is written, not recommended. That is the role of the selection center. It ends there. It is the army headquarters, air headquarters, naval headquarters. They decide finally who has figured in merit, how many seats are there, how many officers have died, how many have retired, how many have been boarded out medically, etc., etc. These informations are not available with the selection center. Every batch, every 5th day, 4th day, there is a new batch, and every candidate has gone through the same. After PPDT and verbal, non-verbal screening, candidates have gone through there. And anybody who touches 360 out of 900 is being recommended, others are not recommended. That's the story. Now, how that is being done? So, first, every assessor has got 225 marks, psychologist, GTO, interviewing officer. So, you are being assessed, actually, every candidate for 675 marks, and 40% again of 225 is 90. So if everybody has given 90, that indicates that all the assessors are clear in their mind that this candidate can be given opportunity. The total will be 270 if everybody has given 90 or above. 270 or above, that is 40% of 675. Now, moment that happens, there is not much discussion. The procedure is the interviewing officer, not necessarily the president. The interviewing officer, whosoever has interviewed this particular candidate, he has before him his full dossier, the entire information. Is he first timer, second timer, what is his education, what is his father, from where he has come, is he a repeater, what all information he reads loudly, because GTO doesn't have a copy of PIQ form. The psychologist have the PIQ form is made in 2 copy. One remains with psychologist, one with GTO. But at this point of time, this information is being shared with all other assessors. So the moment that thing finishes, first the psychologist who has assessed in this case, they all are sitting, 4 or more can be, he will shout his number and not say 60, 60, 64 in this form, so there is no doubt in the mind of the listener. The second will be the turn of the GTO. He will also similarly, whatever marks he has awarded out of 225, 90, 95 or less or more. And then finally, interviewing officer. If the scores in case of everybody is less than 90, this candidate has got no chance of being recommended. But if at least 2 assessors, this norm keeps changing a little sometime. There was a time when one assessor more than 90 and the total is more than 250, also I discussed. This was changed. minor changes take place. But if everybody is given less than 90, story ends there. Everybody out of the balance of 225, because everybody has been scored out of 225, every assessor. So balance of 225, the distribution is 56, 56 and 113. That again total is. So out of 56, 56 and 113, there is a let down rule. Whatever marks one has awarded, 1/4 of that. Supposing psychologist has given 80. So now out of 56, he will give 20, 1/4. If he has given 60, so 15, 1/4 of 60. And there is no discussion. And candidate is called, ask few questions, paper out questions. How was your stress, etc. Where did you go? How many friends you met? Everything known. The questions are, everybody knows that these are the questions being asked. And then he goes out. Only in cases where two assessors have given more than 90, one not given for his reasons, it can be any technique, psychology, GTO, interviewing officer. Process is same. The interviewing officer will give the information to the board, because before the conference, other assessors do not know. Only a TO in a board knows for a candidate who is the psychologist, who is the GTO, who is the interviewing officer. No other officer, no other assessor has got access to this information. And there is a technique of doing this. I had the privilege of being TO for very long. So it is the TO who does this. If this GTO and that interviewing officer and this psychologist had been in this batch, next batch they will not be there. There is a process of allotting candidates so that the same group of same GTO and psychologist and interviewing officer do not assess again and again the same batch. There is a rotation formula. So anyway, that it is only in the conference day that other assessors should know that a psychologist should know who is the GTO for this candidate that he has assessed, who is the interviewing officer for that. So interviewing officer will read all the details about that. From the dossier, he has all the information there. And then this procedure of calling marks. And this total is out of 675. And there is a GP sheet in which immediately this total is being entered. Out of 675, everybody, whatever marks they have given, this total is immediately entered, so that there is no chance of any manipulation later. And if the candidate it is decided candidate will not be recommended because everybody has not given more than 90, so they will be awarding 1/4 of what they have given, and the total whatever comes, candidate will be called and gone back. Only in cases where there is a chance of a candidate, all three have assessed, given 90 or more, two have given 90 or more, then there is procedure is same. But then the person who has not given 90, who has held up, who has stopped at 70, he would be asked, what are his what manifestations in the candidate has stopped him in awarding 90 or more. There will be a discussion. If whatever are his findings, with no malice at heart, he has the option to agree or disagree. Generally, if somebody has awarded 6570 or more, and there is no manifestation like extreme selfishness, indiscipline, or whatever is his observation, it can be psychology, GT or interviewing officer, through the manifestations that he or she has recorded, which he or she will have to share. In conference, one has to share. He cannot say, no, I find that his factor 2 is bad or his courage is less. No, he has to give evidence A GTO has to tell that he found that this candidate continuously was scared of jumping during the individual obstacle. So whatever are his observation, he has to support it through the incidences that he has noted during his assessment. Similarly, a psychologist has to tell in the stories, this candidate seems to be very, very overcautious or whatever, or he easily doesn't make friend or easily annoys other. And that is the reason I have held him back. Unless these observations are very strong, assessors generally agree to come up. But if one's courage is doubt, if somebody is going to join armed forces and he is a timid person, very intelligent, everything is good, he's very friendly, but he is timid, lacks courage, I think he is not our person. So in such cases, again, depending, finally a decision is made. In case of doubt, whatever assessor, psychologist, GTO or interviewing officer, because to the candidate during conference, only one person speaks. And that person is the person who has interviewed him. No psychologist, no GTO would ever speak to. So they give their reasons. These are our observations. Now, please, when the candidate comes, you ask the related questions. And that's how it happens. The board decides whether to award him that benefit of doubt, and the third person also comes up or doesn't come up. This is the only place in armed forces where a major and major general have the same value of their opinion. If the GTO is a major and interviewing officer is a major general or lieutenant general, this major can stop even though that interviewing officer has awarded 100 marks. If he has given 60 and he has got reasons to support his judgment, he will prevail.
So it's a very interesting conversation. So thank you so much for coming as a guest on our channel. It's a privilege to have you. And we're looking forward to our next video collaboration with you. Guys, do check out the link in description and along with the number, Force Defense Academy. Their camp is starting on 2nd of August. So don't forget that. And it's a very affordable price. So wo dekh lena. And rest, sir, thank you so much for coming on our show again. And really looking forward to our next video. Thank you so much.
I assure all of you a good time and benefit. Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.